If you are a hi-fi enthusiast for any length of time, you should be at least somewhat familiar with Michael Fremer. He's been on the scene for a few decades and is known to be a pretty outspoken individual on a variety of topics. And I'm a big fan of what he's done over the past years. But something he said in a recent video that he put out on YouTube has spurred me on to make this video in response. Enough is enough. But first, I need to assert a few points. Who has superior hi-fi bona fides than Michael Fremer? I mean, the guy has pretty much done it all in the home audio space. Who has more experience and expertise than Michael in the arena of turntables, cartridges, and vinyl records? I say no one. His long and storied career has been recounted at length and often by Michael himself in print and on video. From what I recall, besides being a well-regarded journalist and reviewer for most of the top audio publications, he's also been a stand-up comic, a radio DJ, a Hollywood voice actor, and a scriptwriter. A varied and extremely impressive resume indeed. And now I also must give him the highest praise for keeping the torch burning for vinyl records, while the rest of us were dumping our LP collections at Goodwill and jumping on the CD bandwagon and even downloading free MP3s. While Michael was yelling into the boundless void to anyone who would listen that CDs were not all that, and records still sounded better, and they will make a comeback one day, just you wait. And you know what? He was and is absolutely correct. However, I've been watching Michael's YouTube videos on his Tracking Angle channel for a few months now, and on several occasions, Michael has expressed his displeasure with the more popular home audio channels on YouTube, hosted by whom he considers to be mere novices and amateurs, and are garnering tens of thousands of views and subscribers each month. Rather than hear it from me, here is a brief clip from one of Michael's recent rants.
It's not. I don't like to provide people with bad information. It's very easy to do that. Just go online and say you're an authority on things. I mean, there are a lot of people online right now on YouTube that'll show you the 10 best turntables you can buy. Did they try them all? Probably not. Have they been doing this for a long time? Probably not. And if people say, oh, Fremer, you're getting very defensive. Well, yeah, you know what? Because there's a lot of people online who 5 years ago were plucking chickens or whatever they were doing. They weren't in this business. They were not reviewing turntables and records, but now all of a sudden they're experts.
I was a big hi-fi enthusiast starting during my youth in the 1970s, but it eventually petered out during the dark days of home theater, surround sound, and all that during the late 1990s. But then about 5 years ago, my interest was rekindled and I started buying audio gear again and getting back into the whole thing. And after watching some hi-fi YouTube videos, I thought, hey, I think I can do that too. Thus began the My Own Devices audio channel. I have never claimed to be a hi-fi authority or boffin of any kind. My channel has always been for entertainment purposes only. And as My Own Devices grew a bit, I felt the need to expand my knowledge and produce more interesting content. So I reached out to manufacturers and distributors, and surprisingly, they were delighted to send me their products to try out and evaluate. So my channel, like a few others, is a record of my journey back after being away for a while. Michael, let me give you some constructive criticism regarding your YouTube channel. Perhaps a bit more polish regarding sound, camera work, lighting, and editing is needed. You do have plenty to say and appear to speak from a place of genuine passion for the subject matter. But the old saying, less is more, could be something to consider. Maybe you don't believe those things really matter because it's all about your words and unique perspective that makes your videos captivating. Maybe the boisterous, off-the-cuff, unscripted presentation style is your thing. From my perspective, the majority of popular channels are scripted, well lit, have clear sound, and are tightly edited. Now, I'm just a minnow in the YouTube world, but I do put many hours of thought and planning into each episode, even though it may not always appear that way. I get that you're old school. Who the hell are these sideshow clowns with their clickbait shenanigans? Doesn't everybody realize that I'm the man, the big kahuna, the top dog in hi-fi? So then, if you're not the top HMFIC, then you must then tear down and insult the competition? Man, that's so Howard Stern circa 1997, and I don't think that tactic will work in this day and age. Most people don't care if a hi-fi YouTuber has 5 months, 5 years, or 5 decades of experience. What they want is compelling content that will inform, entertain, and inspire, that's authentic, consistent, with a sense that they are part of some kind of community. You are bigger than all that apparent bitterness. And I'm calling you out, Michael. You may gripe and wring your hands in frustration at what you perceive as a bunch of upstarts and vulgarians infringing upon your territory. Some may say you sounding a bit like the old guy yelling, "Hey you kids, get off my lawn." Well, I'm certainly no kid, but I am having a blast, like a kid, playing with lots of cool gear and sharing my experience with my audience. Are you annoyed that a nobody like me has about the same number of subscribers as you? Michael, this is very unbecoming of someone of your stature. There's plenty of room for everyone in the big tent of hi-fi and vinyl records. It's not a zero-sum game. Everyone wins when all the channels grow. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on this topic, and I have to go to work soon. How did you know I work for Purdue Farms? I gotta go find my tweezers.